Hello everyone, this is H to the Husky here. Apparently these guys are saying something in Korean, and all I can read is 321 as well as the little face here. But this is, of course, H to the Husky, and I'm going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between the STC, I think I'm saying that right. I mess up people's names all the time. Everyone knows it. And then this guy who has a Korean name. So we are just going to call him the Red Zerg because I don't know how to read Korean. Maybe you guys can translate that name for me. But basically, this game is going to be from the OGS replay pack. For those of you who don't know, OGS is currently the top StarCraft II team in Korea. So they have a lot of top players. I think they have Tester and just a bunch of guys on that team. An absolutely crazy team. And so the OGS player is the STC, the Terran player. But I actually don't know if OGS wins all their games in this replay pack. I hope not, though, because this is going to be high-level gameplay from Korea, which I think a lot of people have really, really wanted to see a lot of these Korean, players, and now there has finally been a replay pack released, so hopefully I can get a hold of some more Korean replays as well. As always, send your replays to huskyreplays@gmail.com if you find high-level plays that are fun, and also I will eventually cast some lower-level stuff, so your game does have a chance of being in there, and yeah, that's that. And also, go check out StarCraftArena.net. That is the site that me and HD just launched. I know some of you don't watch our announcement videos, which is cool, but it is just StarCraftArena.net. I think we already have like 12,000, I think, is it 12,000 members? I'll have to double check. It's a lot of members. It's pretty cool. So Zerg player opting to get his spawning pool here before his hatchery, and we'll see if he decides to get a hatchery shortly thereafter. However, he is continuing to pump drones. He's been using every single larva on those drones, and he already has his drones, 3 of them inside the gas. So we should be seeing some early speedlings here. Unfortunately for the Zerg player, there is going to be a wall in here, so his really only option of getting inside is to either kill these rocks or try and go for some banelings. Don't know if we're going to see banelings, though, as you don't see it nearly as much as we used to, as it can be hard. It's something that can really, really backfire. If you waste too many banelings trying to break down one supply depot, then your army just basically gets cremated, and no one wants that to happen, especially once Hellions start flying out of here. They are just going to be roasting all your units. Never a fun situation. But so far, there is no hatchery on the way. Just note, getting the queen just now, as he has been using some of his minerals on Zerglings as well, and I do believe that Zergling speed should be on the way here fairly shortly, as he does have that almost 200 gas. I can't imagine what else he could really even spin that on. So his queen should be popping out here pretty soon. A little bit delayed compared to when you can normally get it. If you go for more of a macro style, you can get that a lot earlier. There's a Zergling speed on the way, and now there is going to be a factory, and there is actually a tech lab on here. It'll be interesting to see if he makes a Reaper out of here. He is going to make a Reaper out of there. Could still left off that factory or transition into more Marauders. However, I don't know if he's going to do that considering he got the factory so early. So possibly Hellions with the upgrade or some sort of siege tanks maybe. We'll see what the Terran player is going to do. And he did actually swap that out. Did he cancel that Reaper? I don't think a Reaper ever actually got out on the field. So no Reaper did pop out of there. He started it and then canceled it. The Baneling Nest is actually on the way here, but unfortunately that is... I'm curious about the position. I was going to say, because the scan's going to go down and see that. So he's either going to let that finish, or he's actually going to cancel it once that scan goes away. And he did cancel it. Yep, he's trying to play mind games here on the Terran player, and that does not surprise me. Trying to break down the rocks right here with those Zerglings, not going to quite work. So I think what he's going to try and do is he showed he was going to go a Baneling bust, and he's going to force the Terran to prepare for that, but really he's just going to be massing speedlings and getting that Zergling speed out. So maybe he's going to try and run up here into the entrance of the base. Unfortunately for the Zerg player, though, while he did play that little mind game, and it did work, because see, the Terran player still thinks there's a Baneling nest there, he's going to have a hard time breaking down these rocks. Good positioning on the Hellion right here, preemptively knowing those Zerglings are going to be on the field, possibly attacking those rocks, and he will be able to defend that there with that Hellion. So that is definitely great play there. Now the Speedlings have finished. The Infernal Pre-Igniter is on the way, a little bit over halfway done there, so we should be seeing a lot more Hellions here on the field. Possibly going to push out with 4 or more Hellions to try and harass the Zerg player, which if the Hellions do get out on the field, it can be very, very difficult for those Zerglings to stop them. Now, there is the Zergling speed, so it's all going to come down to if the Zerg player can get a good surround. Do note he's actually pushing out with 3 Hellions here. The Zerglings do have a good angle there. The Overlord, I guess, was spotting that, or he just happened to know that they would be on the way. So the Zerglings do need to get a surround. Looks like one Hellion did get surrounded, but he's going to back out, and he did not get them up the ramp. However, he is going to hide behind these minerals, and the Zerglings just cannot get a good surround here. So far, great control here by the Terran player. He could have killed all of those Zerglings. They are going to run away in time, though, and the Hellions are not going to pursue that attack avenue. However, that was really good play there by both players. The Zerglings blocked off the ramp there. He controlled that really well to block the Hellions from getting up that ramp. Do note an armory as well as a spire is on the way. And so he prevented them from getting up there. However, the Hellions, thinking quick on their feet, the Terran player from OGS was able to get them behind the mineral lines to defend them. The Viking on patrol here to try and kill some Overlords. The Zerglings are going to spot that. Should reveal a little bit of the tech path here for the Terran player, and I'm curious to see if this Thor, when it pops out, if he's going to push out right away with that. The Thor just now starting. Actually supply blocked a little bit, so that's never any fun. The supply depot is almost completed, though, but that is going to delay the Thor by several seconds here, and Spine Crawlers are going to be at the top of the ramp to help prevent those Hellions from breaking in here. So they're going to peek up here, probably realize they can't quite make it, although the Zerglings actually got out of position there. Now the Queen could block the ramp just a little bit. Her positioning there wasn't very good to prevent those Hellions from getting away. However, did soften up those Hellions, losing a handful of Zerglings, but other than that, it wasn't too effective there. They weren't able to get into the main to kill the drones. However, did cancel one of the Spine Crawlers, as well as Spire just now finishing. And this is pretty much going to be it for the Zerg player. He is on one base, so the Terran player has his own command center on the way. So he needs to get that Thor out of position once the Thor is completed building. But the Zerg player, again, does not have an expansion whatsoever. So the STC, look at this, even having Marines on patrol here to spot for Mutalisks. That's actually kind of cute there. And Thor is here, has just now arrived. He's almost as big as that starport. 2 Zerglings sacrificing themselves to see what's going on. But really, the SDC playing very smart here. He actually kept the Thor behind the wall in, so I don't think those Zerglings even saw that Thor. So when these Mutas arrive and are getting blasted by those missiles, they are going to be very sad indeed. Now, there is only a couple Mutas because he has only been on one base, so I don't know if he's going to have enough to actually deal a lot of damage here. Just great play so far by the Terran player, keeping the Zerg contained to one base, which he is just now expanding. So that expansion will finish a little bit after the Terran players. And flying right into this Thor, not the best idea there. Now, he did kill the SCV to delay that command center, but he also lost a Mutalisk in order to do that. So definitely not worth it there. Now, this is the position that the Zerg player does not want to be in. He's just pumping one Mutalisk at a time and trying to get as many drones up and going as he can. But now 2 Thors are here, and 2 is a party, and that is going to be very effective against the Zerg player. Basically, the Zerg player is forced to get, I would assume, a bunch of Zerglings. He's trying to get Mutas out. He may try and use these Mutas to contain, like, basically force the Terran player to stay inside of his base, but the Terran player may just say, screw it, man. If I get a couple of missile turrets up, I can just push out across the map. Even got a bunker over here with some Marines inside for defense. That's kind of old school StarCraft 1 style. You would see a lot more of the defensive Terran players actually go for the bunkers. And apparently that is it. So that was the most anticlimactic game ever. Oh, okay. That explains it. Here we go. Let's go back so I don't get yelled at. And yep, there's a bunch of Hellions, and there is a bunch of dead drones. So that explains it. That definitely explains it. So let's see. Oh, they got in there because of the dropship. I gotcha. Anyways, that is that, and I will see you guys next time.